Midnight Soul Serum.
Hey, welcome back to Midnight Soul Serum. I'm your host, Mac Black, and it's been a couple of weeks, since I've done the recording. It's been more than a couple of weeks, but I've been working on something here, and it's a product that people want to know how to get their hands on. It's something that there's interest in out there in the community, some other groups I'm in. I have the inner workings and the know-how, so in a couple of weeks it'll debut. Yes, it will be a short video of the product and a description on the YouTube channel. So, I'm going to go at this again because I don't have any shame in telling you that I just recorded this whole episode and hit the wrong fucking button and erased this shit. Luckily for me, I'm not tired and I've got enough substance here to keep me going. So, what we're talking about here is the recent uptick of UFO activity, drone activity, UAP activity, like the incident in Manchester, these so-called drones that have been flying over Langley, DC, the Pentagon, and, the government's just like, oh, yeah, now they're coming so forthwith with all this information, like, they really know what's good for us or is better for you. And the thing is when have they ever been honest about anything? Tell me. These are the same people that distributed birth control pills in Puerto Rico under the guise that they were vitamins because they cared for people's health. Hey, we're the government. We care about you. We want you to feel better. We want you to be better. Take this. When the whole time it was just about population control because they thought the population was getting out of hand on the island of Puerto Rico. So they were giving these to women. And that's what government does. They like to make you feel good. Hey, we're fighting these wars for you. We're fighting these aliens in the sky. This is what we're doing. So I shared on the Facebook page, I shared a video of Billy Carson where he's talking about how long we've had the technology and the things that you're seeing now are inferior to the actual craft and vessels that extraterrestrials have, which I can see that and I can believe it. It's just like all of a sudden you're just coming out in Congress openly testifying that, hey, we've recovered wrecks. We've discovered bodies. We've recovered bodies. And all this time, when asked about it, you were worrying about the threshold of humanity having a full-fledged meltdown. Now, all of a sudden, it's okay. I mean, let's talk about that. Let's think about that. It's like, what's your agenda? What's your narrative? What are you driving us towards? Hey, look at us. Look at what we did. The aliens came. We protected you. We fought you first and foremost. Hey, I just don't believe that you're gonna fight them. I'd like to be an optimist here and be like, yeah, we got a chance. We can win. And so, without opening the entire can of worms about 9/11, we're just going to talk about, the plane that hit the Pentagon, the plane that hit the towers and disintegrated towers. Like I said, we're just going to touch on that. And we see how ramped up TSA got, security got around airports, security got around the Pentagon. So, you mean to tell me that you've got these quote-unquote drones, or UAPs, that are up to 20 feet in length, sometimes 20 feet in width, flying over your military installations and the Pentagon, and you didn't have a human knee-jerk reaction? You suspected China, you suspected Russia, but yet you still did nothing to them or even tried to, because you said, well, they're not harming us. They're not causing any harm. Okay. So you either know that if you would have tried to stop them, it would have been an ultimate failure, or there's something else you're not telling us. Like, this is something you've made that you control to catch the public and say, man, look, we told you they were here. Look at them all. And I've seen things. Like I said, I used to be in AWACS. My dad was air traffic control. I've seen things. I've seen things in Roswell. I've seen things in Arkansas. I've seen things out in Vegas. And I'm going to tell you, we don't have anything that moves like the things I've seen. So now all of a sudden you got these things that, they're there. You got thousands of people recording them, and it's just like, okay. Because it gets very difficult with AI. It gets very difficult, You got to discern, like, what's real, what's not. And then when you have a cluster of people from different states, different angles, different areas recording the same thing, like the upside down pyramid that was over in the Middle East. The lightning would flash, you'd see it. And when the lightning was done, you couldn't see it. So my first initial thought when I saw that was just like, that's AI. But then when I see the same video from hundreds of other people from different areas and different angles, and they're seeing the same thing, it's just like, so there's that. Nothing was done about this. Like, what are we to believe? It's just like, you want us to believe that you have our best interest at hand. Now, that's what you want us to believe, but you are now saying that you've been recovered wreckage. You've been had bodies of beings that aren't from here, And it's just, it stands to reason. It's just like, did you not think they didn't have anybody that might come looking for them? I mean, because I'd be hard pressed to be like, if they came and asked me, I'd just point them to a direction. You're either going to Area 51 or you're going to the White House, and it's that way. But, if they've been here as long as they say, I'm pretty sure there's been deals worked out. There's things that our government has helped calm down or go away. Or, hey, we said 200. We said 200 every other month was the quota, right? Okay, you guys are at 197. Slow down on your abductions. Because nobody's going to believe anybody that said they've been abducted. Even though under hypnosis, they can show you some very, very, very scary things. It's just like if you watch the movie The Fourth Kind and you go back and you look and try to get the original footage for that. If you haven't seen The Fourth Kind, you should watch that. So, which brings me to these aliens in our oceans. Aliens in our oceans. You didn't specifically say mermaids. You didn't specifically say sirens. But you said aliens. And I'm okay with that. I can believe that. For years, there's been lights off the coast of California. So much so that they even think there's a base out there. These things are coming out with colors of lights that we don't have, moving at speeds that we don't have, in and out of the water for years now. And, it's always just played off, like they didn't believe it. They don't believe the people that record it. It's just like, could have been a meteor. Okay. So a meteor hits the ocean, but it's going to move at the same trajectory that it was headed. You have these things that go in the ocean, they make like right turns, and they're speeding underneath the surface of the ocean where you can still see the lights. So it brings me to this. And here's the example I like to use. You have normal pets, cats, dogs, birds, fish, things that are quote unquote domesticated to a term of sense. Domesticated meaning they do what you say. Because when you try to get a lion, tiger, bear, gorilla, it's not a good pet. That wouldn't make for a good pet. That's not a pet. They're not going to ever be domesticated. For one, with a wolf, once you gain their trust and become part of a pack, that's a whole different thing. You shouldn't want to domesticate them because that's not their way of life. But with things that don't bend or yield to the man-made way, we have issues with it, which brings me back to the ocean. A few years ago, when they were testing all these bombs and missiles in the ocean and saying, we're just testing out new weapons. It's no harm to people. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know what kind of waste came from whatever it was you were quote-unquote testing that got caught up in the underwater current and could have infected who knows what seafood that people eat and stuff from the ocean. But, you've got people from these oil rigs, people that work on the docks, recording all these different things. It's like, even here in the Caribbean, I was told about wearing my jewelry into the ocean. I was told why I shouldn't, what it could possibly mean. And, I'm getting all these stories about mermaids and sirens and like the differences between them and the benevolent mermaids versus the non-benevolent mermaids, and things being bestowed upon you if you make an offering to them or give them something they ask for. And wearing jewelry, they could be under the misinterpretation that either the jewelry's an offering or you're the offering. So I play it safe. I don't need that in my life. But it's funny because it's not far-fetched. There's been videos over the years. There's a exploration going on over this deep sea diving rig. And the divers under there, and they're deep, and they're going over this rig, filming it, documenting it. And I think, if I remember, the orientation goes from left to right. A fish goes by that's flailing on a spear that looks like it's made out of bone. So the divers quickly turn the cameras to the direction it came from. They don't see anything. They turn it back. The fish is going off into the darkness. And with that, you kind of come up to the whole imposable thumbs idea. Because what else is going to be chucking spears at depths in the ocean at fish that's not, it's just one of those things. It's just like, we have to wear special suits to even survive at that depth. We got spear guns, but this thing literally looks like it's made out of bone. And if I can find it, I will. I did share the Billy Carson video on the page. I think it was like November 30th on the Facebook page. Which, by the way, if you're from the Facebook page and you're here, glad to have you. Welcome. All the shows now will just strictly be on YouTube. I won't be sharing them on Facebook. They got a little bit upset about one of my other topics. If you just go through the episodes of the show, I'm pretty sure you can find out which one it was. Anyways, back on topic. Is the uptick. Why now? Why is everything happening now? Why are you being so open and honest now? Is it because the advancement of technology, of high-speed cameras, cell phones? People are capturing these things, and you're like, well, shit, guess we can't lie no more. We even got pilots coming forward and showing tapes they ain't supposed to show nobody. Because, everybody signed something, right? You sign paperwork that you not going to say that you saw what you saw. you also have people that write checks and sign them to say there's money in the account, but there's no money in there. So, yeah, signing documents doesn't really mean much these days. I mean, they can enforce it to whatever extent they choose to, but no. So, but it's just the uptick, you know. If you go on there, you're starting to see more people film things over the ocean. You're starting to see people film things in the sky. You know, these people are setting up high-speed cameras. They're setting up telescopes and cameras just pointing at one section of the sky. And they go through all this footage and they'll catch something. Or they'll see something and they'll just pull out their cell phone and record it. Out here, if you have never experienced it, just like the people on the cruise ship that talk about all the things they see in the night sky when they're out on the part of the deck they're not supposed to be out on, and it's pitch black and you can see everything in the sky. It's pretty much the same thing living by the ocean. You know, you'll see things and your first thought is that a cruise ship? Is that a tanker? Maybe it's a speedboat. But then you'll see it do something you just can't explain, and you're just like, okay. Excuse me. There's a guy here who he's got a page on Facebook. I'm gonna share his page. He is constantly getting videos from things seen out here in the Atlantic and the Caribbean that you just is what is that? That's all you can say is what is that? You know, I will share his page on the Facebook page so that you can see what I'm talking about. I just think that there's something bigger at play. Not fully trusting that everything they're trying to do or say is in your best interest. You know, they come with this, I can't answer that. But yeah, you know, we got a search team that, you know, goes out and gets wreckage and takes it to whoever knows where. And it's like, so you're admitting things to us that you've never admitted before. Why? Is there something coming? Is there something already here? You know, it's just like the whole thing about December 3rd. Man, I waited. I stayed up all night hoping that something happened somewhere in the world so I could watch it in real time and discuss it, you know, on the show. But time is linear, so just because it didn't happen on the 3rd doesn't mean it won't happen on the 14th or 15th. We'll see. To be seen. So, you know, like I said, Billy Carson is a wealth of knowledge. I won't say that I agree with everything that he puts out there, but you start thinking about things that he talks about, even some of the things Terrence Howard speaks about, you're just like, you know, and it's like we downplay so many things in this world, especially the world of medicine. You will use high vibrational frequencies in the sterilization of equipment, but you don't want me to believe that certain frequencies and vibrations have different effects on the body. Yeah, okay. So, like I said, it's just been very interesting to see the least that they're going to Congress and bringing this stuff up, and we're supposed to just say, oh, hey, look, they're sharing with us. You know, why are they sharing with us? Are they sharing with us so that something happens and we can't win, and they say, hey, we tried to tell you? Or are they sharing with us so that they can fly the things that they've built and they can win and make it look like they won in our eyes? to where we're just like, man, look at what the government did. They won. And like, yo, yeah, we protected you from these aliens, so you should listen to us on the rest of the things we got lined up for your life. Nah, I'm good on that. I don't believe that. So, man, I see my other episode before I hit the wrong button was like 26 minutes. So I don't know, maybe I rambled a bit. Maybe I didn't. And it makes me think that there was an incident that I forgot. But yes, look up the events in Langley, the events over the Pentagon, the weird spears that have been showing up like at Manchester and other places. And it's like, that spear, especially over in Manchester, that almost, collided with a plane. When you're look at the drones of today, even the advanced drones that Homeland Security and the military uses, they don't look like that. They don't look like that. So, as always, if you have anything, you're encouraged to send it to midnightsoulserum@gmail.com. You can send an audio recording. You can send a video recording. You can type it out and send it in, and I will read it for you. I'll change your name if you want me to change your name. We don't have to use any names. We can make up a name. I'm not going to have the same, emotions and reactions that you did at the time of it. But I do understand that some people don't like putting things out there or telling people what they sell because they're crazy. And, around the world, it's not just UFO, UAP. There has been a significant uptick in paranormal events, things that are being seen, things that are being recorded, Bigfoot sightings, Dogman sightings. Mothman has graced us with his presence again. So, that's going to be interesting to see what follows. What's going to be happening in the following weeks with that. Of course, you've got the doomsday fish that have been washing up. And if you don't know what the doomsday fish is, it's the oarfish, and they usually wash up on the beach before a major catastrophe. So we got a lot to look forward going into 2025. We ain't finished 2024 yet, so who knows what could happen. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you spending this time. Thank you for your support. And there's a whole hiccup thing going on with the t-shirts right now. Otherwise, it'd be on the Facebook page and it'd be on the YouTube page to where you can see them. If you want one, cool. If not, cool. I might even do a giveaway by the time they get all that sorted out. The other product, the first 6 orders are probably going to come with a extra gift. Not probably, they will. And like I said, that's going to be a whole... I'm going to try my best not to sound like an infomercial. I'm going to give a few specifics on what the intent was behind it, what it can be used for, and once it ships and leaves my hands and reaches you, then it's yours to use it however you see fit. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. It took some doing, but it was a request of people who couldn't find it. And like I said, I had the inner workings, knew how to do it, made it, and it's about to start being sent out once everything gets here. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. Once again, I'm your host, Mac Black. Thank you for these 20-some minutes of spending time with me, listening to me. And this is Midnight Soul Serum, Mac Black, signing off.
Midnight Soul Serum.